So, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast, where after such a long time, we can finally say, Cars on Track week. It's testing week. Woo! Uh, Rich is just subtly flexing the cap he got at F175 Live, which, well, I guess is a good segue. Rich, review
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
F175
whoa.
Live.
He
For
got it at
free.
Stansted Airport.
To be fair, yeah, I did get it at Stansted Airport. This was
Mm.
nearly 1 a.m. I received this. Whoever you are, kind sir, who bestowed upon me a McLaren corporate gift bag, thank you. I will wear this with smugness. I will be wearing this to work where somebody else at work wears a Red Bull hat. So, just nice. Constructors champion. That's all we need. Look at all them stars. Oh, beautiful. Yes. Obviously, I went to F175 this week. Was lucky enough to get tickets thanks to my friend M. Yeah, it was actually banging. It's one of those ones we weren't overly hyped for it until we got to the tube station to get off to go to the O2, North Greenwich or whatever the fuck it's called. And then suddenly you're surrounded by everyone Formula One. Aston Martin had taken over the tube station, so there was just Aston Martin advertisements everywhere. There was Fernando faces and Lance faces, but nobody cared about that, going up the escalators. There was a bunch of people, I don't know if they were actual team members or just hired, in team crew clothing with the pit gear helmets and everything. It could have been the actual team. We don't know. We didn't stop to chat. But one of the guys pointed us in the direction to like the front of the tube station where there's like a taxi rank, because they'd put like an actual car out there. I think it was just a model of last year's one, but there was an actual Aston Martin sat there. I'll have a photo here. That's the Aston Martin that was sat outside a tube station in the cold. Then obviously you've got the walk around, and there was like massive posters of each individual team, and it was like good luck trying to stop at like any of them except McLaren. That was a piece of piss. Nobody seemed to want to stop in front of that one. Everyone was stopping in front of Mercedes, Williams, and Ferrari mainly. Ferrari, understandably. Then there was you get to like the front of the O2. That was like a merch stand outside. Had the Snoopy merch actually, so that was interesting. I think that's quite rare. I don't really know. Don't really follow the world of F1 merchandise. But then we went into the O2 and in like the main concourse, I guess you'd call it, before you go in to like the O2 arena, like in the outside bit, there was another car. That was the car that the FIA the F1 unveiled as like a, here's what the new regs are going to look like for Grand
Yeah,
Force.
the show car.
It was that car.
No, the show car is good, but is it as good as the SpongeBob car we had at Silverstone last year?
It wasn't the SpongeBob car.
Wow,
I'll put another
disappointing.
photo of that one here. Not the SpongeBob one, the one I saw. So me and Em then like wandered around. There was a bunch of like stores that were still open selling F1 merch. All of it very expensive. Nothing was purchased. So then we went in. Yeah, we found our seats, and it wasn't bad actually. We were on the lower level, but the last row. So we weren't up in the tiers. We were on the not like the ground floor where the drivers were. You could see some of the drivers from where we were sat. I'll post some incredibly horribly zoomed in photos now. Basically, I spent the whole time on my phone before the event kicked off, with my phone on as much zoom as I could like manage while holding it, playing hunt the drivers. And it was just a case of who's who and trying to identify people from the back of their heads. So, interesting thing. So, yeah, I took some photos of some zoomed in people. We managed to find the McLaren table, the Ferrari table, the Red Bull table. I think those are the only three that I could like easily identify. Also managed to pick out Gordon Ramsay, Martin Brundle, a couple of other people. Yeah. Then the show started. We were warned by the hype man on stage before it all kicked off. You know, we were given a 5 minutes until we're going.
You got a
Everybody
warm-up
get
act.
ready. No. It was just a bloke on stage trying to like, you know. And he was like, just to warn you, we are going live. There is a broadcast delay. Blah blah blah. All that bollocks. Basically, so if anyone drops a clanger, they can try and censor it. But having watched the event back on YouTube, they didn't nail it with Gordon swearing. So top tier for that.
No. Either that, or because it was purely run by FOM, they didn't give a toss.
Well, they turned his mic off, but they turned it off too late for the shit. So yeah, the event started. MGK opened.
You poor man.
I can't believe I had to sit
to go through that.
It was
sickening.
so cringe. I don't know how it came across on the broadcast, but it was so cringe to be sat there, and especially when he did like a verse that was like different, and it was like making reference to Formula One. It was shit. Worst musical performance of the night, easily. Are we going to rank these, by the way? Because we had a few musical performances. So
the only positive is the fact that it wasn't Will.i.am.
This is true. Me and M both agreed we would have rather had a Will.i.am performance. That is how cringe it was. We were adamant and unanimous in our assessment of would have rather had Will.i.am. So anyway, we fucked Machine Kelly off quickly. I tried to explain who Machine Gun Kelly was to my parents. I just told them that.
Good luck.
I just told them that he was a rapper that got that picked a fight with Eminem and lost so hard he changed genre.
You either say that or
my dad seemed to
he
think
shagged
that
Megan
was...
Fox.
My dad seemed to think that my explanation was satisfactory, so I think it worked. It gets the point across. So what was that after that? So we had MGK on first, then
Sauber, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sauber. Pleasantly surprised by that. I'll have the images up as we go, so just pull it up for your own reference if you guys are doing it. But I'm just gonna put it in post. I'm gonna have it on my other screen. I was pleasantly surprised by the Sauber. I think the matte works really well, and the gradient on the engine cover as well. I really like that. I think it's much better than last year's.
Yeah, it's better than last year, but it's still pretty shit.
It's still green and black, but
there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, but if you gave me a choice of last year's or this year's, 1,000 times out of 1,000, I'm picking this year's because it just looks so much nicer.
It needs more sponsors, though.
Yes, that was something I noticed
barren.
as the night went on. It is quite sparse in its sponsorship. It was a good start to the night, though. It was a cool presentation, and a nice looking car.
Yeah, you've seen
Binotto. Yes. I did take photos of like the personnel that went out on stage here. So it was good to see Gabriel Bortoletto as well. That was nice. Overall, it's not a phenomenal livery, but for me it's up there. I like it. It's clean. Is it clean because of the lack of sponsors, though? That is the question.
Mm.
Who was next?
It was in
Who
championship.
finished ninth?
Was it? No, we couldn't have been Alp. Is it Haas?
Williams?
I don't know. Williams.
It might have been Williams.
I think constructors finished last year.
The Williams is pretty much the same as last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with Williams is the fact they brought out their like test livery, and it's better than their actual livery. So
yeah, well, Red Bull's fucking prime example of that, aren't they? So, look, I've got nothing against the Williams livery,
yeah.
but this is something that we're going to hear at least twice more this evening. It's the same as last year. It's not very imaginative. I think there's a couple of little differences. I think the nose cone is a slightly darker shade, and it like sort of fades back. And obviously,
gradients of it.
Obviously, we've then got the new title sponsor emblazoned all over the engine cover. That's obviously new, but you know that's just a sponsorship change. That's nothing major in terms of the design.
Yeah, you can't count a sponsorship change as a new livery.
Until we get to Ferrari, but we'll cover that later. So you know, this is a very mid to just under mid tier for me. It's a nice livery, but it's the same as last year.
Yeah.
Right, has someone
Moving
got up the
on.
order?
It would have been what?
It is now the best livery of all.
Ah, nice. I know where I'm going then. That's literally one to the left.
Yeah.
V-carb. Funny presentation. Absolutely ribbed the driver. Well, I say the drivers. Ribbed Yuki on stage. And I think this is my favourite livery of the year.
Yeah. I would agree.
It's drastically different. It's, okay, apart from the Haas, which we'll see in a minute. It's the only predominantly white car on the grid. And I think it'll do really well because that'll stand out. It differentiates itself from the Haas by virtue of it's got the yellow on the nose and the intake.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be easily identifiable on track, which I think is what a car should be. We've got so much blue that this shocking switch into the sort of like the inverse colour scheme of their usual makes it so much better.
It kind of reminds me of when they were Alpha Tauri and they just took their two liveries and swapped them about colour-wise. It reminds me a little bit like that. I thought, oh well, we've got blue. This year we'll have white.
Yeah. I've also heard it's kind of like the Red Bull Japan livery.
Yeah.
It's a white Red Bull.
It is. Yeah.
You know, but I do like the blue balls at the back. That's I quite like that. How it like the small balls gets bigger and then it's just solid blue.
Do you want to say that again?
I said blue balls. Open your ear holes.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. It's just an interesting way of how to do the gradient, you know? They haven't just like faded
Where
it
is it
in.
next?
Haas,
No,
I think,
just,
isn't it?
Like, yes, it is. The American team. With a live performance.
Potentially my worst picture here, but you know, blame the lighting. The car looks
I don't know.
okay.
Do you have a picture of Christian Horner?
I do. That didn't come out very well because the spotlight was on him and it kind of whitewashed him out a bit. So yeah, there's Ollie Behrman in the background of this photo as well. So you know, Ollie Behrman season, first full season. Good to see. He got a very big cheer actually. Did our kid Behrman? Obviously, because he's our kid.
As is, yeah, not really surprising because it was in the UK.
Yeah. The Haas is.
But actually, Christian Horner's from the UK and he got booed. So
Yeah, but that's Christian
It's
Horner.
Christian. He's not racing. The Haas is. I want to say quite similar to last year. It's a bit different.
I'd say it's better than I think
it's
it's better
quite
than last year.
It's not a bad car. I like it. It's just have they rabbit holed themselves, you know, or pigeonholed themselves rather, where they've just gone down a design path in terms of the livery that they now can't break out of. I know it's like brand and all that bollocks, but every year it seems to be the same panels that they contrast against. Like the side pods seem to be a different color to the engine cover. The top of the nose seems to be a different color to the side of the nose. You know, it's that sort of shit. It's always that way. So I don't know. I'd like to see something a bit different from the Haspel here. A gradient, white at the front to black at the back. Just grey it through, you know? That would look very F1 design livery editor, but it would be different.
Yeah, but they're also now sponsored by Toyota Gazoo Racing, which is black, red, and white colors.
Yeah, the Haas is another car that looks very light on the sponsorship, at least on the side of the car. The nose cone seems to be a lot busier.
But Haas has been like that for a couple of years now.
Yeah, the issue with Haas is the fact the sponsor would have to speak to Gene Haas, and at that point they probably put the phone down.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, this is the first year that Gene Haas has not had to put any of his own money into it.
Well, that's good.
They got enough from where they finished in the championship.
What a year he's having! So, honestly, he's had the best new year of his life.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are we after that?
Next up, I'll be what, Aston Martin or Alpine?
Alpine is the best live performance they had because everyone was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Was that the Brian Tyler one?
That was the live DJ.
Yeah. Which I think was actually technically a fake DJ, and the real DJ was up in the clouds. But you know, for the illusion, we'll pretend it was the man on stage. He needed a haircut. The amount of times he did his headbang and then had to hair flip his fringe out of the way got annoying for me, and I was in the crowd. It's like, mate, just get a hair clip or just have a haircut. The music was shit.
Yeah, no, you need to rate. Who was it? Didn't Haas have a live performance as well?
Shit. If they did, I can't remember.
Country singer.
Oh,
I think
yes,
they had the country singer, didn't they?
They did. He wasn't bad. He was pretty middle of the road.
He's better than MGK, but it's still shite.
Look, nobody was very familiar with his stuff, so you know you're sort of limited in that front in terms of how good a performance is going to be because of crowd participation was down. But I didn't mind the music. I thought it was quite good. So for me, he's third place out of, I think it was 5 musical. Because Aston Martin had as well, didn't they? Very brilliant.
Yes.
So yeah, I'd put him. Fuck it, tied second. MGK 5th, Brian Tyler 4th. Gives you an idea of where the last 2 musical performances go in my ranking. Anyway, the Alpine livery. Once we eventually got past that absolute fucking car crash of a musical, which I think my friend actually
not a
said.
Car crash.
I think my friend said they preferred listening to MGK over that, so we differed in our opinions on that. But I would still have rather listened to more of that. Okay, cool. Thoughts on the car? Obviously BWT, so obviously pink. Alpine's rich blue is what throws me off here. I think, in my opinion, seeing it in person, I think it would have looked better if it was matte.
Yeah, because
Fair.
the pink looks matte and the blue's
Yeah.
metallic.
Yeah.
It's sort of.
The only other thing I would maybe change is the pink BWT on the side pod is very jarring.
I think
Yeah, that is what I
what
would
I would have
change.
that as white or something.
No, what I've seen people say is it's the black outline on it that is the issue, and if you change
Yeah.
the black outline to a white outline, it becomes more in line with the Alpine A slightly further back on the car,
Yeah.
or indeed the BWT on the front wing and the rear wing.
Yeah.
So I think if they just made that a white outline, that would improve it. But for me, the biggest thing is the metallic blue.
But I have seen pictures of it on track, and it does actually look not too bad.
Yeah, obviously this is just what I've seen under like aggressive spotlights. So and
Yeah, it may also just be a
very
case that they
mobile
went metallic
spotlights.
for. Yeah, it might be a case if they went metallic for this event, and obviously with testing in Bahrain coming up, it'll be under the lights. We see that quite often where teams will go metallic for events like that, and then go matte for the rest of the season. So I guess it just depends what shows up to Australia.
Yes. Who knows? This for
We'll
me,
find out in 3 weeks.
for me because the metallic sort of throws me out and the black outline, not the white outline. I've put it slightly below mid on my estimations. Sort of in the similar vein as where the Williams is.
Yeah. I'd have it above the Williams just because they've tried
changed something. Yeah, fair, valid.
Yeah.
Aston Martin.
Another musical performance. This was, I believe, the name is Thames. Tems. Wasn't bad. Tied second. Again, was just sort of there for theatrics, and nobody really knew
Does that mean
what was going on.
Is there 3 people tied for second or 2?
2.
All right, okay.
We've got
there's the American
MGK
country.
MGK 5th.
Yeah.
Brian Tyler's music 4th, and then American and Thames tied at 2nd.
Yeah.
And then we know who's first. Yeah.
Gary Barlow's son.
Yes, okay, Aston Martin. It's the same car.
It's not the same car because they've added black to the side pod and it looks fucking
and white
shite.
to the inlet.
Oh,
actually, no, I looked back. The white on the inlet was there last year.
Was it?
Yeah, I did.
We have been gaslighted. What the fuck?
And it was there. I had to go and like dig out some photos, but as far as I
do
can tell,
not remember it being there.
Neither did I.
I don't either. That's mental.
But Google it, because I guarantee you, it's there. See?
I need to see it on track.
Yeah, as I say, I'm trying to find a picture. There's some pictures from Abu Dhabi. That's the easiest way to.
Oh my god, it is. Oh my days.
Told you. Because I was trying to make the same point to someone else, and then I did my research and ate my own words.
Yeah.
It was,
oh well. I do not remember that being there.
No, neither.
That's mental, isn't it?
But yeah, so the Aston Martin, I don't really like it that much, I'll be honest. Very similar to last year's. I know they've added the black, but it's like,
I don't like the black. Just make it green and it's fine. And it would just be safely mid-pack.
Yeah.
But because of the black, it's like towards the back end.
Yeah. Right, who's next?
Mercedes.
Mercedes. This is, you know what? It's not bad.
No. It's not the worst.
It's very
The
similar.
silver on the engine intake is very jarring. I've gotten very used to the red. But anyway, I've obviously decided to leave because I don't see them anywhere
still
on the
the
car.
wing. They're on the inside of the front wing. So I was watching
Oh
Tomo
yeah, I see that
redesign
now. Actually,
deliveries.
yeah.
Tomo redesigns deliveries. They're very fun to watch. When he was talking about it, it's like, well, obviously there's something going on. Because Ineos have obviously took a step back somewhat because they're not like fucking bang on the wing with their colours.
Are we
so it is weird.
Potentially expecting a new sponsor to take over that slot? Because that's a very prominent slot to just leave blank.
Yeah, like maybe, but then also Merck have released their own photos today, and there's nothing on the intake. So
maybe it's still not finalised.
Who knows?
But yeah,
they're doing Aston Martin.
Yeah, it's a very
just
prominent slot to just not have anything on.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when you've got the amount of sponsors around it. You know, you've got like Solera underneath it, AMD on the outside of the Halo, Team Viewer just underneath Solera. Like, there's a lot going on nearby, but there's nothing on the actual side of the intake.
Yeah.
So,
a very nitpicky thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those numbers, I don't think are going to be amazing to read on the back of the car.
Not big enough.
They're so small.
Yeah. Yeah. On the Aston Martin, they're plenty big enough, but on that, no.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where we're used to George obviously having like the light blue last year and Lewis with like the fucking lime green.
Yeah.
That also play a part as well, where they're black and white now. You saw that work.
Yeah,
it's
true,
not in
possibly.
your face as much.
Unless Antonelli's getting his own colour and George has just went for black and white.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. The only car we saw had George's numbers all over it, so.
Well, you know who the number one driver is.
Actually, now that we've entered into number chatter, you can't even see the rear numbers on the Alpine. At least not from the photo.
Oh my! No, I can.
I can see a 1.
That's
but
a
no 0.
7. That is a 7.
Oh, is that 7?
That is Jack Doohan.
Okay, so they went with the mixed
front
numbers.
says
10 on the front wing.
It's got 10 on the nose cone and 7 on the side.
The Alpine don't have a number one driver.
I think. You want to know a car you can't see the numbers on? Haas.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see any numbers on the Haas.
Exactly.
I can't tell if that's a number or a sponsor.
I think it's a sponsor.
That's a sponsor, yeah. There's no numbers on the Haas.
On the Kick Sauber, you can see what should be 27 on the nose cone, but then I can't see the rear.
But you can't see a rear number. Wait, is that?
You can see it, but you can't
I think I can see a 6.
I don't know. I wouldn't be
just
able
above
to...
the 0, unless that's the Zero's logo.
I think that's the Zero's logo, mate.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what? Who has great numbers is RB. Stand out brilliantly.
Yeah.
Just red. Beautiful.
See,
the Aston Martin's got really good numbers.
Yeah, Aston Martin's works.
The Mercedes stands out. They're just small.
Yeah, the Ferraris is awkward with how the bodywork is shaped.
Yeah.
And sort of the same with the McLaren. I got a slightly different angle of that because they brought it onto a different bit of the.
Yeah, the angle that you've got it at, you can't really read that number.
I mean, I know it says 4.
Yeah.
But
again, they've got nothing on their front wing.
I think
McLaren
the
didn't
number
put
4
any numbers
is
on the front.
hidden behind the eyebrow.
See, I thought it would be lower because they've got a massive space just above the FIA logo on the wing, where it looks like it should go.
I think it normally goes above where the front wheel is, so it's sort of blocking it.
Mm.
Anyway, we were on about Mercedes. Were we not?
Mercedes, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Number chat over. I like it.
Slightly above mid, me.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
the fact I
yeah.
like the fact that they've kept the black. I do think it works.
Yeah, behind RB, above the rest.
Yeah, I just
So
don't like.
for me, I prefer the steak over this.
Ooh, that's controversial.
I don't know. I really like steak's redesign. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
I just don't like the big blank space on the engine intake. I think it looks silly on a car like this. With so many sponsors, there's no need for that space to be empty. Ferrari.
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Oh,
Third.
yeah.
Okay.
It's the exact fucking same. Moving on.
So like 6 words. It's the
Wow,
same
wow,
as
wow.
last year,
Yeah.
and the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that.
Yeah.
They've
So it'd
literally
be
gone,
really
if
funny.
it ain't broke, don't do anything. But it is
'Cause
broke because they finished third.
Everyone next year is obviously expecting it to change with Ford coming in. If all they do is just whack a Ford badge on that car, it'd be fucking brilliant.
You know full well the only fucking change they're going to make
It's
is where it
so
says
good.
Honda
Honda
is going to say
Ford.
Ford. That is it. That is the only fucking change that is going to happen to that car. I might go down the bookies and see what they say.
So good.
I want to make a prediction of next year's Red Bull livery. And they'll tell me to fuck off.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the exact
It's
same.
the same fucking car. And their presentation was a bit wank as well. I liked the car stuff, and then they brought everyone out on the stage, and it's like,
That was a bit mad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bring out a ton of street dancers. What the fuck's going on?
You're not Kendrick Lamar at the pop out. Calm down. You know?
And then didn't have the driver speak to anyone, just Christian Horner.
I find it funny that of like the 2 photos I took of the Red Bull car, I've just got Max at the front.
Yeah.
It's giving a wave, and that's it. I did not take a
Probably.
lot of photos of the Red Bull. I took one look at it and went, oh, shock. It's the same, and put my phone down.
Yeah, fair. Ferrari.
Yeah, Ferrari. Obviously, huge
Where we
cheers.
put in Red Bull?
Oh, fucking bottom.
Right. Last. Yeah.
It's the same. It's where it deserves to be. Ferrari, obviously, massive cheer when the one and only Sir Lewis Hamilton graced
I think
the
they're
stage
cheering
with his
Charles
cousin.
Leclerc.
I was.
Yeah, I do find it
Actually,
really
no.
funny.
I think they're cheering Fred.
I was. That
Yeah.
man is a legend.
I do find it quite funny that all the hype is around Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari, and then the show car only has the number 16 on it.
Just a subtle reminder who the team really belongs to.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. That's a big fucking bit of sponsorship real estate.
Yeah.
I think it's too much.
I really like the Ferrari. The only parts of the Ferrari I don't like is the fact the front wing and the rear wing is white.
Yeah.
Have you seen the redesign where they changed the blue of the HP logo to red?
No.
It
Oh,
looks
but I probably
better.
look glass.
It looks better. But
I don't think
obviously,
HP would be very happy about that.
obviously, HP have just dropped an absolute bomb on Ferrari for this multi-year partnership deal that includes 8 HP logos on the car, I think. 2 on the
1,
front
2,
wing, 2
3,
on the rear
4,
wing,
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I count
2 on
8.
the engine cover, and then the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh, 9. There's one on the
9.
Halo as well.
I just spotted that. So yeah, 9 logos on the car. I think that is the most for any one individual sponsor on a single car.
Yeah.
So HP
Except
have,
for maybe steak on the steak.
well, okay, but that's a
Yeah,
team's
but what other
title
sponsor do they have? It's just their only sponsor.
That is
Yeah.
the title of the team.
But then so is HP for Ferrari.
It's not the same though, is it? Ferrari is Ferrari, and HP have just paid to have their name plastered on the front. Whereas Stake have temporarily taken over
Yeah.
the Kick
Until it becomes Audi.
Sauber.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's technically the Kick Sauber, but the money for Kick comes from Stake. So
Yeah.
he says as a Twitch streamer.
Mm.
Yeah. Fuck Kick.
But honestly, I like the Ferrari. I
It's
think
not
the white works.
it's not bad. I just think it's a bit too much white
Mm.
on the engine cover.
Yeah,
For
there's
me
too much.
personally.
There's too much white, but I love the fact they've gone to the darker red, and it reminds me of the Mugello livery, and that was fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, it's not quite as dark as that one.
No, but it's
But-
not as metallic either. But it's still.
And it's
It's
so
nice.
much better than that last time they tried a sponsorship livery with the green mission winnow on the
Well, yeah,
side.
that's just because they can't have fucking Marlborough on the side of it anymore.
Yeah.
So that was just them
and
getting
In
around
woke.
loopholes.
and finally, McLaren.
Same as last year, bottom of the pile.
Shy
Yeah.
by Red Bull.
But
Actually, it's not the same as last year. It's slightly
But-
worse because they changed the colour of the wing mirrors.
the McLaren gets bonus points
Why is that?
Because it's McLaren.
because they brought out all of the old cars on the stage as well. That was mint.
Okay, fair.
I'll put a photo into the thing. Hang on.
I don't get why McLaren just can't like use a livery like the Triple Crown livery. Like it's so easy, and it's so nice, and yet they still just go orange and black.
Here,
Mm.
they did this on stage.
Okay, yeah, fair. That
Like,
is quite
middle
good.
car.
I think at the back, I think they said that was Fittipaldi's championship winning car, and then obviously they've got the MP44 from the Senna Prost era, and then you've got Mika's car, Lewis's car, and then the new one. So bonus points for absolutely styling it out, but that literally is only going to bump them above Red Bull.
That McLaren West car is just fucking different, honestly.
And then, Richard, why don't you tell us about the FIA getting mentioned?
Oh, that was brilliant. Laura Winters, absolute babe, was doing a intermissionary speech where they talked about the F1 Academy. There was a bit on like support series, and then there was a bit on F1 Academy, and then she brought up the FIA, and the instant the FIA's logos hit the screens around the venue, not a word of communication about this beforehand. Everyone singing from the same hymn sheet. Massive boos. Didn't give a shit. You could hear it in Laura's voice that she's trying not to laugh.
You can see a sort of smile as people are doing it. It's so funny.
As it was happening, and then obviously she finishes the bit about the FIA, and then she goes on about how this year Pirelli are going to be celebrating their 500th Grand Prix within biggest cheers you've ever heard. Just to contrast that, just to let everyone know that we're not booing for the sake of booing. We're booing for the sake of the FIA, and we do not care about anyone else. We'll celebrate literally everyone else, including the tyre company, which has been a bit shit in some years. We will gladly cheer them over the FIA. And then obviously we had the interview of Jack Whitehall talking to Gordon Ramsay about the FA swearing ban. Gordon Ramsay dropping a nice big shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually
That
glad they
got
let Jack
massive
White.
cheers.
I'm glad they let Jack Whitehall just be Jack Whitehall
Yes.
because I was
Yeah.
seeing it and thought, oh Jesus, they're gonna fucking
corporately
pile drive that
suffocate
into
him.
the yeah.
They didn't. It was good.
Like, I'm so glad this was clearly an FOM event
Yeah.
because they just sort of let people go.
Yeah, this was
And
definitely F1's gig.
yeah,
This was not the FIA's. We let them know that.
yeah. Speaking of the FIA, some news did come out this week that we should discuss. That they're looking at a rule change specifically for the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yes, I did hear about this.
They're looking to change the rules so that you must run all three dry tyre compounds in the race. And if it's wet, you just have to make 2 pit stops.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about it.
neither do I. It feels like manufactured drama.
Yeah.
Are you not
But
just gonna see?
equally, we need something to change at Monaco because it's fucking shit.
Mm.
So I'm all for trying it, but if it doesn't work, scrap it.
Yeah, but like whatever the shit tire is, aren't people just gonna use that for one lap, go in and pit again?
But they could bollocks the second pit stop.
And it could take
Yeah,
them 43 days to remove the tyre.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Valtteri Bottas style. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it. We'll see how it goes if they implement it.
Yeah. Anyway, back to F175. We've got
Yeah.
the most important bit of the night to talk about. We've covered all 10 driver liveries. But then the best bit of the night, something I wasn't expecting to be quite as good as it was, even if the falsettos were a bit questionable from a couple of the guys. Take that. Banger. Phenomenal. There's a video of me, which I will be sharing privately, but I will not be putting on this podcast. A,
Mhm.
for fear of public ridicule, and B, I do not want to tempt the copyright gods.
I
I,
look forward
I,
to it going in the Discord.
I went in. I belted the tunes. Yeah, you know what? It wasn't bad. Obviously, there were only 3 of them. It still takes my number 1 spot. Do not give a fuck. That shit was great. Jack Whitehall's joke about streamlining the band top tier as well. That was good banter. But yeah, no, they just came out, did their big ones, and then fucked off again. And then they brought all 10 cars out onto the stage at once. That was good.
I just at the point that Take That came on, I did turn it off.
At the point Take That came on, a lot of people started fucking off. I won't lie.
Yeah, Gary Barlow's voice. Oh, fucking hell, I'm off.
But that means they missed all 10 cars and all 20 drivers on the stage at the same time. So
Yeah, but if you like, you put MGK at the end of that performance,
Oh,
you're pissing off, aren't you?
MGK, I'm out. I don't care if the song ends and I hear Alex Jakes going, "Hang around for a surprise after this performance." I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm gone. At the very least, I'm going to the bar.
You need to.
Yeah. So, but no, it was actually a really good night for what it was.
It was very fun to watch.
I was expecting a lot more talking than there was.
Yeah, they need to
Mm.
increase the time by half an hour to an hour. I'd also Eurovision the fuck out of it. I think it'd be really funny to get people to vote for their favourite liveries at the end of the night.
V-Cub, V-Cub, V-Cub.
Yeah.
I would have voted for that so hard, I'd have probably broken the fucking voting thing.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, let's fuck it.
Shall
Favorite livery of this year? Obviously, mine is V-Carb.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to go V-carb as well.
Ben.
Yeah, I'd say V-Carb and then Ferrari.
Yeah.
So the Turn 5 podcast award for livery of the year,
Is
standard livery of the
Red
year,
Bull.
is V-Carb.
Huh.
We'll do special liveries at the end of the year, obviously, when we've seen them all. But
Exactly. Shall we move on to everyone's favourite time of the year?
God,
So,
need to pull up a
pre-season
list.
testing is this week, which means this is the last opportunity we get to do this before there's cars on track. It's time for the Turn 5 podcast blind predictions.
It's gonna go so badly.
We will give all 20 drivers, all 10 teams positions, and then laugh at ourselves after the end of the season and see how badly we got this.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? We'll start off with the Constructors' Championship because it's only 10. For the final year,
clickety clack when I
it's
read
only
through
10.
this. Yeah, I'm just gonna clickety clack and type them out as we go.
Will we go bottom to top again?
Fuck that.
Okay, Rich wants top to bottom.
Yeah.
Ben, you want to
Well,
go first?
chill out. No, I don't. I'm just putting in my predictions now. I definitely don't want to go fucking first. They turn out like Nia's.
Oh yeah, Nia's where she's got two drivers and like 10th and 11th, but says they'll finish
Yeah.
8th in the constructors. Okay, well we all do this then.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we just put this
furiously
on?
typing?
Should we just put this on hold till Richard's thing
Do
ends?
do
Oh,
do 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 do
Mate,
do.
I'm just typing in all of my shit. Okay, hang on.
We interrupt the Turn 5 podcast to bring you hold music. We're back from a brief intermission where we all sorted out our predictions, and now we're ready. So, Ben, you were last finished, so you get to go first. Constructors' Championship
did
from
I win
10th
this
to
last year?
1st, please.
I don't know. I kind of forgot to do the tally, so we'll
Yeah,
I'm
cover
going
that
first
next
because I won this because I won this last year. Yeah.
no.
So in 10th place, I've got Sauber. Shock horror. Their car's shit. It's not going to improve. What's the point for
Okay,
1
ninth.
year? 9th, I've got RB.
Mhm.
Yeah, I ain't gonna give a reason because I don't have one. The livery's nice. 8th place, I've got Haas.
Okay.
In 7th, I've got Aston Martin.
hmm
Ooh,
All their big money spending's not coming through then.
Yeah,
not
Adrian
yet.
Newey's letting them
Not
down.
yet.
You reckon new
How
regs?
many months? You think? Yeah, you think
Okay.
Newey can make drastic changes in fucking a month?
Yeah.
No.
It's Adrian.
In 6th place, I've got Williams.
hmm
And then in 5th, I've got Alpine.
hmm
What?
Okay,
They're
now they're
driving
getting
the
This
nosy.
this is
nosebleed.
where it gets
Yeah, they are.
juicy. Who have you got in 4th?
4th place, Mercedes.
Oh.
In 3rd place, Red Bull.
hmm hmm
In 2nd place, Ferrari. And in 1st, McLaren. I think the top 4 is going to be the exact same as last
Okay.
year.
Rich?
Okay, so 10th, I've gone for Haas. I predict that they're going to fall off this year. Whether that's because they're focusing on the regulation change for next year or not, who knows? 9th, I've got Alpine. 8th, I've gone Kick Sauber. 7th, I've gone V Carb. 6th, I've gone Williams. 5th, I've gone Aston Martin. So their signings have just kept them where they are. 4th, I've gone Red Bull.
Okay. Okay.
But Mercedes 3rd,
hmm
Ferrari 2nd, McLaren 1st.
So I've
There
got
we go.
Kick Sauber in 10th. Williams in 9th, Haas in 8th, Alpine in 7th, V-Carb in 6th, Aston Martin in 5th, Red Bull in 4th, Mercedes in 3rd, McLaren in 2nd, and Ferrari in 1st.
Bastard.
Ben, your drivers' championship,
My
please, from
drivers.
20 to 1.
This is going to be a fucking mess.
And if
Tested
anyone-
typography skills, this is
Point of clarification, if anyone goes back to watch this episode at the end of the season to laugh at us,
Get fucked.
well, there's that, but if any driver is substituted in, so we get a 21-person championship and so on, they will not be counted in the scores because how are we meant to know they're going to show up? Ben, take it away.
In 20th place, I have Gabriel Bortoletto. Nothing against his talent. I just think the car is going to be pretty shit. In 19th place, I have Isaac Hajar. Same sort of story. Nothing against his talent. I just think the car's not going to be very good. 18th place, Nico Hulkenberg. The experience. 17th place, Yuki Tsunoda. In 16th place, Lance Stroll. See you fucking later, mate. In 15th place, Jack Doohan. I feel sorry for Jack because they brought in Colin Pinto, and obviously everyone's like, oh my god, he's getting sacked in the morning. So I hope Doohan does well. In 14th place, I've got Esteban Ocon. And then in 13th place, I've got Ollie Behrman to beat his teammate. And in 12th place, I've got Fernando Alonso. Because why not? In 11th, I've got Carlos Sainz. And getting into the top 10, I've got Alex Albon. Just to pick Carlos. I think that's going to be a very close and good battle to watch throughout the year. And in 9th place, doing some heavy lifting, Pierre Gasly.
Now that you've remembered about him.
Whoa. Whoa.
Banter. 8th?
8th place.
Oh no.
I've got Chris losing his camera. In
We're
8th
back.
place, I do predict this driver to win a race this year or at least get a podium, and that's Kimi Antonelli. I think he'd be very up and down, but I think he'll have one race where he just sparks into life and you'll be like, yeah, that kid's got some fucking talent.
He's got some minerals.
And in 7th, I've got Liam Lawson.
What's your sirens in the background? Do carry on.
In 6th place, Georgie Russell. It'd be nice to see him close to Verstappen this year, but, you know, we can dream. In 5th place, I've got Lewis Hamilton. Lewis is difficult to predict because it's fucking Lewis. As soon as you predict against him, he's going to win the old fucking lot. In 4th place, I've got the current reigning champion, Max Verstappen. And that does feel like a crime because you're betting against Verstappen, which is also never fucking good. But yeah, in 3rd
Mine
place,
is worse.
in 3rd place, I have Oscar Piastri. So that means that there's a title challenge between Leclerc and Lando Norris.
Yeah, we all know
And
you've
I
put
think-
Lando Norris to win and Charles Leclerc second.
Shut
It's
up,
not
Chris. I'm trying
difficult.
to. And I've put Lando to win his first championship. And I think and I hope because of him being the one to have to cross the line to win the constructors for McLaren, I think and I hope that's done something to make him be like, oh yeah, I can fucking do this and get that mentality right.
Mental conditioning.
Yeah.
You've done it before.
Richard,
Okay.
your go.
Hate Watch, 20th and last, and praying for pointless. Esteban
That's the
Ocon.
man. Yeah.
Don't know why. Really don't like that man. 19th, Jack Doohan. 18th, Ollie Behrman. 17th, Gabriel Bortoletto. 16th, I've gone Pierre Gasly. 15th, I've put Nico Hulkenberg. 14th, Isaac Hadjar. 13th, Lance Stroll. 12th, Yuki Tsunoda. Now, Ben, I found your point about 10th and 11th interesting here because I've put the Williams duo, but the other way round.
Way cool.
So I've got Alex Albon in 11th, Carlos Sainz in 10th. I put Liam Lawson in 9th, behind Fernando Alonso, doing some very heavy lifting in 8th. I've put Kimi Antonelli in 7th, Max Verstappen in 6th, Lewis Hamilton in 5th, same as you, Ben. And I've put George Russell 4th, Oscar Piastri 3rd, Charles Leclerc 2nd, Lando Norris 1st.
Okay, here we go. So I've got Bortoletto in 20th, Albon in 19th, Nico Hulkenberg in 18th, Carlos Sainz in 17th. It feels like a crime putting him that low, but I just think the Williams is going to struggle. Esteban Ocon 16th, Ollie Behrman 15th, Jack Doohan 14th, Isaac Hadjar 13th, Lance Stroll 12th, Pierre Gasly 11th, Yuki Tsunoda in 10th. Again, some heavy lifting from Fernando Alonso in 9th, Liam Lawson in 8th, Andrea Kimi Antonelli in 7th, Max Verstappen in 6th, George Russell in 5th, and Oscar Piastri in 4th, which leaves Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, and Charles Leclerc as the top 3. What do you think I've done?
I think that you've put Charles Leclerc to win the title.
Okay.
I think you've done a Ferrari 1-3, but don't know if you've gone BD or not.
Neither.
It's a Ferrari 1-2. Oh my god.
No.
No, it's a Ferrari 2-3 and
It's
Norris
a Ferrari
to win.
2-3. I've put Charles
We're
Leclerc
cooked. He
third,
said Norris is going to win. We're cooked.
Yeah, can we
Lewis
change? We
Hamilton
can change them next
second,
week.
and Lando Norris to win the championship. But I think it's going to be very close at the top. I think it'll be a 3-way fight all the way through the season. Lewis never wins championships in his first season at a new team. I'd never put him
the
first.
second one.
It's always this. He's going to win it next year.
Nah.
Oh,
Fernando
Adrian
Alonso's
knew.
winning it next year. Sorry, mate. The gods at B would normally agree with you, but Adrian Newey has other plans.
But yeah, I've put Norris to win his first championship. I think it's just going to happen. I think Red Bull drop off a bit. And
They've lost
the
too
other
many
3,
personnel, in my opinion.
yeah, the other 3 will advance, particularly Ferrari and McLaren. I think Ferrari will get their consistency right this season, and they'll take it all the way. But I do think Norris will win the championship, but the Ferraris will take the constructors.
Last round?
Quite possibly. Not 100% certain, but quite possibly all the way to the final round. We'll find that one out next week. I'm not bold enough to put it down now. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday have got a big part to play in that one. And speaking of, as we mentioned earlier on, it is obviously pre-season testing week. If you want to watch and you're from the UK, it's live on Sky Sports F1.
Wait, is it actually?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm clearing my calendar.
Set your alarms. The morning session starts at 7 a.m. UK time and runs until 11. There's then an hour for lunch, and we start at 12 p.m. till 4 p.m. under the lights for the evening session.
Can
And
we
it's the same on Thursday and Friday.
all do a prediction of first team to either crash or break down?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
So the first red flag is what we're saying. Who causes
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first red flag?
Which
Well,
team
no,
or
because
driver causes
remember,
the
they
first
red flag
flag?
every session.
Okay.
So,
yeah, but
yeah.
that's,
But not
that's different.
test.
That is not a cause.
Yeah.
That is a
yeah.
premeditated,
First red flag caused by
First
someone,
unscheduled red flag.
I think it'll be Sauber.
I'm going to go Aston Martin because I think Adrian Newey has cooked up something, but the car's not quite sitting well with quite what he's cooked.
Ben?
I'm gonna go safe and say Alpine. I just think it breaks down too much.
That's valid. That is valid.
Hopefully every car makes it to testing on time. But we'll wait and see on that one. Because we have had issues in the past. But yeah, set your alarms, 7 a.m, bright and early, live on Sky Sports F1. Coverage starts at 10 to 7 in the morning for the first live sessions of the 2025 F1 season. We'll review all the action from pre-season testing next week, as
Are we
well
gonna
as
do
giving...
like bold season next week and all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
fine.
As well as doing our proper season predictions, having seen cars on track. We'll see if any of our predictions change based on what we've done blindly. Probably will, but we'll need to wait and see how quick everyone is. At the absolute scenes when the Alpine post the 6 fastest times, purple in all the sessions. But obviously, the usual caveats: pre-season testing isn't always
Get out your
representative.
sandbags.
Yeah,
Come on.
we don't know fuel loads, battery setups, all that but jazz. And an important reminder that all 5 tyre compounds, all 6 tyre compounds are available to the teams during the test. They can choose to run anything from the C0 to the C5. So tyres will come into it as well.
Did a team last year just get like, wasn't Williams or whatever, just sent a driver out at the end and put like low fuel and they set the fastest time?
I think so.
There was a Haas one as well because they get given an
Was
extra
it?
hour or something.
Yeah, because they were late. Was that not 2 years ago?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think that was 2 years ago. They were late, but that meant they got the best of the track evolution and the track to themselves. And so they kept just doing purple sectors.
Hilarious. Top band.
And then they were not fast.
No.
Mel agrees with me. Lando World Drivers' Championship, Ferrari World Constructors' Championship.
Oh, it was Yuki Tsunoda. Actually, no, that's like it was Guan Yu Zhou. It was the Sauber who put in the 4th fastest time last year.
Mm.
And then the car came last.
But yeah, that's why we mentioned the importance of not looking too much into the preseason testing times. But we're going to do exactly that next week, because that's all we've really got to talk about at this point of the year. But until then, thank you very much for watching the Turn 5 podcast. Thank God cars are back on track. We'll see you next week. Ta-ra!